All right. Welcome, everybody. Again, glad you're here. And this is how you've chosen to start your evening time frame of the New Year's Day. Well, New Year's Eve into New Year's Day. But I would like to just kind of start off with how kind of reflecting on how funny it is, us humans, thinking that us turning the calendar year, or us changing a new day or starting a new routine, like how silly of us to think like that change is so immediate and so black and white, like one day to the next. Like change is actually more complicated than that. But it's funny, I just had the Gita in front of me. It's a text that is pulled from Indian philosophy, and it reminded me of the gunas and that yoga is something that helps us change. And the gunas are these three energies that really everything in life is made out of and composed of. And more specifically, they're labeled as tamas, rajas, and sattva or sattvic or tamastic is how you might have heard it, or rajistic is how you might have heard these terms before if you're in the yoga world. But I'd like to take us through learning and introducing those type of energies in this practice, and then you might be able to take them into your year and know that change sort of happens through these three qualities. And we'll also kind of reference the snake a little bit because we're moving away from 2005 through 2025, represented by the snake, and moving into 2026, resented by the horse. I'm so excited to talk about all this, so I'm like tripping over my words. Let's get grounded though, and then we'll get into more depth and philosophy while we practice our movement. So I'm going to have us on our bellies to begin. So what you'll want to do is maybe bring yourself to all fours, bend at your elbows, drop your bellies to the ground, and take your time getting there. Again, lots was just said, but now we'll kind of just let all of that settle. You can layer your forearms on top of one another and then rest your forehead on top of that layering so that you start to feel your neck muscles and shoulder muscles relax. And I'm keeping my head up just a little bit so the microphone's more clear for my voice. But I want you guys to like maybe move the hips around a little bit so the thigh bones can touch and sink to the floor. And you can choose to turn your toes in towards one another and knock your heels out. If that doesn't work, or maybe later on after a few breaths, you can turn your feet out so that your heels are in and the insides of the feet are down. And then I want you just to grow heavy in your body. And we'll kind of just start to sink our breath, our bones, our bellies deep into the earth, kind of feel supported here. And support yourself through turning your awareness to your breath. And then let your earth, whatever your surface is underneath you, whether it's a wood floor, a mat, a blanket, whatever's underneath you, let that support your body. And we'll keep breathing. And this first quality of practice is really great for this first quality that we'll talk about, which is tamas. It's kind of like a snake sunbathing. It's lazy. It's still. It's almost like conserving energy. So as we pause here and get heavy in the body, aware of how our day was, how it's landing, aware of maybe even the year, and how it's coming towards a close. I got asked a question today that I really liked. If you do want to switch those feet, do that now. And the question was, what activities did I like to do in 2025? What activities brought me joy? Did I return to and came back again and again? So as you sit on your bellies, being heavy in your limbs, but like kind of wild in your mind, let yourself roll through maybe some activities you really enjoyed doing this year. Good. And then start letting that go as we bring in some movement. We are going to practice a little shorter tonight. So let's start moving our bodies. Let the tops of the feet come to the floor. Bring your hands next to your ribs. Gaze forward, press into your toenails, heavy down through your hips, squeeze the shoulder blades, and then puff your heart up and maybe engage through your back and lift your head a little higher, almost like you're rising like a snake. And then you'll exhale and slither your bellies, your chest, your chin back down to the floor, maybe even lower your forehead to the ground. And then again, heavy down through your lower half, squeeze elbows into ribs and lift your heart, your head, engage through the strong, broad space of the shoulders, and then lower yourselves down again. One more slither up and down. We roll our bodies up with breath in. And then exhale, soften the elbows and rest your heads down. Okay, now bend your right knee, flex your foot to the sky, and then about 3 little pulses will lift our knee off of the ground. But before you do, just engage down through your left toes, feel strong in your upper body, and then we'll pulse the foot up as the knee comes off the ground, and then just lower. Good, and you'll engage through your back and through the quad, maybe even through hammy. Let's go again, little lift up, and then rest down. Last one, lift up. Good, and then rest it down. Okay, extend your left arm straight out if you have the space, or a goalpost if you don't. And then point your toe to the sky. And then we'll start to wrap our hips, point the knee high, and maybe let the right toes float or touch the floor. And as you do so, you might just recognize the strength in your shoulder, the stretch, maybe a rest of the temple. Good. And then when you exhale, hi kitty, bring your hips back down to the floor. We'll bring both arms into the chest. Do a slither up with the head for the cobra. And then exhale, bring your chest back down. Move your forearms forward so the elbows and the shoulders stack. You're coming into a Sphinx pose. Move your focus forward. Press through the fingertips, dig down through the elbows. See if you can widen through your collarbones, and then just dip your ear over to the left. See if you can breathe breath through the right side of the neck. Notice any tension that is felt, and then back off. Come back forward with your gaze, parallel chin, and then you'll knock your right ear to your right shoulder. Focus breath through the left side of your body. Good. Keep yourself focused through breath. Keep your body supported by earth. Move yourself forward one more time with the gaze, down with the chest. Arms can come next to the ribs. Let them be a little supportive for you. And then your left foot will lift. Flex at your foot. And then just remember to press down through your right toes and then pulse up through your left glute. It'll be a pulse up, up, up. You feel your low back maybe. Maybe the leg muscle is working. Great job, everybody. Okay, pause. Let the thigh land on the ground. Reach your right arm out straight or at a goalpost. And then you'll point your toe and then start to roll your hip to stack. so that your left toes either float or tap to the ground. Right forehead, temple can reach the mat. And your left hand kind of just rests by your upper body. You're kind of twisting through shoulder, stretching through thigh. And then when you exhale, hips can roll back down to the ground. Okay, bring both hands next to the side body. We'll tuck the toes, hips come to your heels. You'll pass through a child's pose. And forehead can rest, hips can sway. Maybe your ribs go from one thigh to the next. And maybe just keep that like snake-like quality here for the first part of our practice. Maybe the shoulders slither or the head moves back and forth. Could even come up onto your fingertips and give your upper body some more room to sway. Big exhales out. Really focus on that exhale. 2025 is what we are leaving behind, but I'm sure there's so much that you've learned and grown that has to be taken with you. But those exhales will really help you release anything that's just better left in the past. We plant the palms, move your shoulders over your wrists, find a table. Could feel really nice to do a similar action, but here on tabletop. So if you want to slither yourself side to side or roll like a wheelbarrow, another option for people who want to get a little bit of wrist relief, you'll circle your right arm up and overhead and then place the heel of the hand forward, fingertips face the knees, and maybe you do just one hand at a time, do a couple snake-like moves, or you can try both at the same time. Move the left hand up, over, and then heel of the hand lands, thumb outside of mat. And then you could go side to side, rotating your shoulders and your hips. You might find some cat-cow because that feels really organic and habitual. Especially if one of your favorite activities was yoga in the park this year. Me too. I really, really enjoyed spending the year with you guys, growing and learning together. So yeah, like if it's habitual for you to move in a certain way, maybe today you invite yourself to move in a way that's, again, more embodying something different. Okay, let's come out of these wrist stretches. So bring your hand back behind you. Maybe we'll start with the right. Bring a hand, reaching it back and flipping the palm, opposite side. And then let's get back to some more structure, more formality. Right foot is going to reach out to the side of your mat. Okay, you're in like a ankle aligned with knee position. And then one more time, cat-cow, belly drops, head opens. Notice what that feels like on the inside and outside of the leg and hip. And then pull your hips and wrists together, round through the upper back. Good, one more time, because you might have already gotten a lot of cat-cow in that last place we just were. Tabletop is where we land, then fingertips move to your body and land on your hips. Good, then just walk your right hand down the long edge of your leg and left hand goes up into the sky and you're just taking a side bend. Good, you might pull your hips more forward so the shoulders and hips can be in one plane. Okay. We really did not stay super lazy in our snake embodying that inertia. But as we lift up, come to a warrior two, bring your arms to a T, turn your heel in and your toe out. I'm going to turn so you can see a little bit of a different angle here. We're in an extended side angle or warrior two shape on our knees. Bring your hands to your heart and lean into that bent knee. Good, and when you back off, you can come back to that level playing field or horizontal shape with the arms, and then hands to prayer and lean into it. But I really do think this inertia is really good resembled by the snake. Let's go two more times, because snakes shed skin. So they have to have a moment of like conserving so much energy that they can literally leave a layer of themselves behind. And like they don't really look back. Okay, let's come back to that centered shape. Neutralize the hips over the knee. You can bring your hands back to your teeth. One more time, tick-tock to the long edge of the leg, almost like a triangle shape. Okay, so because we're taking out our vinyasas, we're kind of going to get funky here. Bring your hand down to the ground. Square your shoulders and your hips back to the floor. So you're in a tucked toe with your right toes, left knee underneath you. Press down through fingers and toe and pull your left knee into your chest. Good. Then extend it high up into the sky for a down dog with a lifted leg. If that's too much, no pressure. Come back to a down dog where you can feel stable and structured. Okay, but if that feels good to reach through the left heel, do exactly that. Pull the left heel up, flex the toes towards the hands, feel the back of the right leg. Nice. Okay, we're stepping our left knee forward again. Okay, then as you do so, drop the knee down to the ground. Then turn your left knee so that it's parallel. Your right toes will turn to long edge of mat, and then you'll rise up, coming back to this shape, but now in a different orientation on our mat. Okay, from here, bring your left hand back down to ground. Right hand will reach into sky and place the right palm to face the floor. Create this really long, beautiful angle from the fingertips through the wrist and the shoulder, and then from the shoulder to the hip to the ankle. You can stay or maybe make your arms vertical like a tree and float your right foot. You can stay, or maybe you do some outer leg work by doing a little pulse, or you can choose to do a back bend. What I really want us to focus on here is pulling the heart forward, maybe kick the heel to the glute. You can reach back with the right shoulder, so the right shoulder wraps back, and then you can either make a connection or just reach. But with that right shoulder pulling back, your heart puffs forward along with the hips. Re-lengthen, drop the foot, square the shoulders and hips, turn the right heel to stack over right ball mount of foot. You're going to pull the knee back into your chest again. Press down through hands and toe, lift up through left knee. This time, lift to a three-legged dog. If you want to open the hip, the knee will bend, and then those hips stack, almost replicating that experience we did on the floor on our bellies. We are propelling and moving towards horse energy, towards Ragistic energy, where we get to propel and move forward with fierceness. Okay, this foot will extend back to sky, left, 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 goes high, high, high. And then look to your thumbs, press your left foot between your hands, drop the back knee. Ha! Give yourself this moment of grounding again, back down to earth quality. Slowing down, just so we can build some more blocks. Left hip is going to pull back, left leg extends, and the toes flex up. You're in a half splits if you're practicing with blocks. They can be on either side of your leg. If you need to modify this in any way, put a little micro bend into the front knee. Okay, once again, connect with that line through the back of the leg, and then move forward. Crawl your hands to the top of the mat, grow depth forward in the hips, and then your back knee is going to come off of the ground. Nice. Now step your back foot forward a little bit, and then draw the heel in and down. We're going to keep a bend in the left leg and extend our arms up into sky. We are now in what I'd like to kind of say is like our horse shape today. So when we're on our bellies, very snake-like. In our horse shape, very like sharp, strong. Our legs can be one of like the biggest muscles in our body. And the thigh bone, I know Meg Shuba, shout out my teacher, I love her so much. When I was going through her training, we were learning in Chinese medicine about how these thigh bones help and symbolize moving us forward. So really sink into this shape. And for a moment while we hold, Hands can be above head, at heart. You can even clasp the hands and hold the elbows behind your back, but stay upright. And for a moment, just close your eyes. If you were a horse, and this is like a movie scene, imagine like what would a horse do if it saw a snake? Just imagine whatever story is coming to mind. Like, once again, just let the mind wander and get wild as the body holds you strong here. Good, everybody. Okay, just hold that story in your head, okay? Whatever script is happening. Cool. Breathe in, move the arms high. We'll let it go as we straighten the front leg and draw the chest down to the front of the thigh. And you're in a pyramid pose. If possible, the back heel is digging down, but if you need a little help, pop the back heel and bend the back knee, and then you have that like half splits position, but you're standing. Okay, from your pyramid pose, bring both hands to the inside of the foot, bend the left knee, drop the right knee. One more pose in this set. We're going to heel toe the left foot out wide. Okay, then draw depth once again into the front hip. Hey, people, you have always choices in my classes and hopefully just in every class you go to. You have choices of where you go. You don't have to go to where I'm suggesting. You can always stop and stay where we just were. So here, we're gonna pick up the back knee and you can stay here in this like really deep lizard lunge. You might even just drop the back knee and stay. If you wanna take this one more step up, look to your left pinky. Just kidding, that's your right pinky. And take your back foot to move to that space. If you need a couple steps to get there, cool. Then drop the glutes, open the head and the heart, maybe even hands to your thumbs and your thumbs to your heart. Malasana. Here's where we can shift weight side to side, maybe pop a heel, wiggle. You can open arms if you want. And when you're finished, because this is a lot, you'll land in a forward fold, hands to floor, hips lift. And as you do so, turn your feet so your toe and your heel are aligned. Let yourself rest. It's really, really hard to identify when we're moving in inertia, when we're transitioning to like rest again. So when we go from that tamastic quality, slow, reflective, to then, hey, now we're moving, we're going, we're turning registic. So that mix, that blend from one to the next is sometimes unclear. And other times it's really identifiable. So just see if you can pinpoint those moments where you're mixed, you're merging, you're transitioning, but you're not quite one complete specific energy. You're a mix of two, maybe a mix of three. We breathe in and we lift that sattvic quality, harmonious. Maybe you find balance here in this halfway lift, bringing head and tail away from one another. And then move your heart back down to thighs. Do that 2 more times. Lift head, heart, lengthen arms, lengthen back, and then crunch and curl and move back towards yourself. Last one, lift tall. And then exhale, fold deep. You can bring your feet in closer together, heel toe them, and then as slow as you can, bend your knees and then start to roll your spine up to a mountain where we can just pause for a moment. If breath was lost, come back to that pull, that push, the ebb, the flow, the constant energy moving through your lungs, fueling the entirety of you. Really nice, everybody. We'll get back here soon. as we go through this next side, once again, can you identify and see when are you being more relaxed and rested, and where do you find yourself being like really, I gotta go full force here? Okay, inhale, move the hands high. Neither one is good or bad, just notice. Exhale, forward fold. Lift up halfway, lengthen. Exhale, plant the hands, step a foot back, let the other foot come to the ground, and then lower the knees, pull your hips back, come to a child's. One quick little transitional puppy pose. So you'll bring your hips over your knees and then walk your hands forward, drop your chest, maybe lengthen your chin so that it taps the floor, or you can tuck your forehead and let that touch the floor. Stretch through the armpits, spread through your seat. Good. Come back. Bring yourself to a slither to the floor. You can bend your elbows down, plant them like Sphinx, and then see if your hips can come to the ground. Just pause in one real quick Sphinx for a head roll. Your chin will lift up, and then you can draw like an arc across the ceiling, bringing chin towards armpit, down to chest. And then the other side, arcing up and around. Take it as slow as you need to. And then switch directions. Maybe if you get dizzy, close the eyes. Okay, bring your chest to the floor. Bring your hands next to your sides. Toes tuck, hips to heels, child's, and then to your tabletop. Your left leg is going to lengthen out to the side of you. I'm going to turn just so I have space and you can see. Left leg lengthens beside you, and you can do a few cat-cow. Your belly tucks and rolls in as your chin comes to your chest, and then opposite. The head, the crown lifts, the tail lifts, the back arches, and then you round again. Maybe you slither and roll like a snake if that cat-cow is just too habitual. Maybe you mix it up. Okay, then the hands are going to come to the knees, and you'll lift your body and your gaze. Walk your left hand down the long leg. Right hand reaches up and over ear. If you notice, my toes face forward so that the ankle, the knee, and the hip are aligned, but the foot can lay flat and stabilize you. And then a few rounds of warrior two. Turn the heel in, point the toe out, and then hands come to heart as you sink deep into that hip, and then back off, level off again. Find that like sattvic energy, balance, harmonious, and then depth, and then back off. Good, everybody. Okay, come back to that level shape. Let's turn the knee again. One more time, that little triangle shape. Side bend, root down through right knee, lengthen through the right ribs, and then back off. Turn your heel in, toe out, and then I know you guys are coming from a different angle than I am, so really you might keep that leg lengthened. Rest your hands and shoulders to stack, and then pull your knee in. Okay, then lengthen that leg straight back behind you, so left toes tap the floor, and then press down through hands and back leg so you can reach your right knee into the chest and the nose. And then lift it up above. Okay, perfect. Place the right knee to the floor, shimmy the shin, and just because we did it on the other side, you'll lengthen the arms to stack and then just lift real quick. Good. Find your body, similar shape we were just in, just a new orientation. Then come to a side plank. So the shoulders stack, or you can angle it a little bit. And then point the left fingers and palm up and overhead. Find a really big length through your left side. One long, strong angle. And then take your arms vertical again. bring the left foot into the air in a little pulse if you like, or it's a pull back of the foot to the glute, and then the left hand reaches back, and as you do so, the left shoulder rolls to the back space of you, so your heart can pull forward, hips pull forward, but head leans back. Maybe a connection is made. To return to where we were, lengthen arm and leg. Find that mixture of energies happening, letting a few energies at once exist. We draw that back hip down, square the hands and shoulders. One more time, tuck through the left toes, pull up in the right knee. Oh, either lengthen to down dog, three-legged, if you would like. Maybe the knee bends, the hips stack. If possible, can you keep your shoulders focused towards the mat, but your hips open and they free? Okay, let's go. Last little chunk here. Look to your thumbs, re-extend your right leg, press your foot between your hands, drop the back knee. A little break, a lift of the heart, a sink of the hips. Then pull back. Right hip pulls, left follows, and then length through the entirety of your right foot. And hammy. Breath stays even and constant as best as possible. Walk yourself forward. Okay, we're rising to a beautiful horse-like shape. Lift your back knee, step the foot in a little bit, shorten your stance, draw the heel down, keep right knee stacked over right ankle, and move your arms up and overhead. Be fierce and strong, and maybe come back to that story. Find a place for your hands. I know I remember, like, so specifically that, like, snakes and horses, like, they don't, like, get along. Like, horses are afraid of snakes, which is such this funny imagery of, like, a small snake scaring this beautiful, big, crazy creature of a horse. And I think there's so much to be said there, because the snake shows up and is frightening, and this beautiful creature is frightened. Let's just pause there for a moment. This idea of frightening and frightened, running away, or being like the snake and standing tall and maybe hissing. Like, which one will we be when we face something that's scary? Run, back away, and freak out, or stand strong and tall, hold the ground, and just do it anyway. Okay, exhale, bring the hands to the ground, straighten the front leg. Give yourself a little break, a little ease. Hips tried to stay stacked. If you need that little mod, back heel pops, back knee bends. You guys are doing so good. Last little chunk. We drop the back knee, bend the front. Bring both hands to the inside of your right leg. Heel toe your foot wide. Heel in, toe out, and then move, propel, sink deep into the hips. Be strong and fierce. Pull up with the heart. Okay, you can stay or maybe pick the back knee up by tucking the left toes. Okay, if you want one more deep expression here, look to your left pinky, put a bend into the back knee, walk it forward, sink deep and down. Hands to your heart, maybe thumbs pressed to the sternum. Focus your gaze forward again. And I love this idea of like doing it a little bit frightened, doing it a little bit scared. And I think when we do that enough, we become frightening. We become the scary thing. Because we're showing ourselves, we're showing the world, we're showing our people that we are willing to do something scared and grow from it. And for some, that can be really scary. And I'm with you on that. But let's do it anyways. Let's do it scared together. Let's exhale and forward fold. Turn the feet. Move the head down. Maybe grab the elbows and sway, or grab the backs of the shoulders and sway. We have just a few more standing postures, and then we're gonna come to our backs and really, really melt. So if anything has risen, let it rise, and then let it fall. Hold yourself here for one more moment. Maybe switch the arms just to grab something that, once again, isn't natural, maybe is out of habit. And doing things out of habit, doing new activities, that's how we build new habits, new routines. That's how we change gradually, by moving through these different energies. Letting the arms go, moving the heels in so that the hips land underneath the feet. Roll slowly up to a mountain. Slow, slow, slow. Sleep even. And then once you land, then you can grow alert. But not in the way of we're so alert we're running away, but more in the way that we're alert and we can see and we can observe and we can move into this sattvic quality, harmonious, between doing so little that we feel lazy and doing too much we feel burnt out. Here we get to find that perfect little balance of both rest and ease, and action and activity. Be strong with breath as you pull it through the bottom of your mountain to the top. And then switch your weight to your left foot so your right leg can come into your chest. And then we're going for a twist. Left hand to your knee, right hand to back pocket, or extend back behind you. And I'm sorry you are talking to a headless person right now, but what matters here is the hips stay as they are, but you create a shoulder twist. Maybe again that right elbow pulls back so left can come a little more forward. Excuse me. Okay, then step the foot wide so the hands can relax. You'll bring your right foot and draw it out to the side. So like you're swinging up onto a horse, giddy up. You're bringing heels and toes out, and then you're sinking as deep down in your legs until your face can come onto screen. Just kidding. Just deep enough until you can feel your body giving you some sensation. And this should be a little uncomfortable, but super expansive through the thighs. So externally rotate the leg bones. Maybe hands come to your thigh bones. Good. Relax through the shoulders, lift through the heart. Let's go 3 more strong breaths. So good. Standing tall, sturdy, and then lengthen through arms and legs. You can do a little brief star. Make it a back bend if you want. And then zip everything together. Turn the left toes to face short edge of mat. Turn right toes to face long edge. Come into your warrior 2. From warrior 2, triangle. It's just a straight leg and then a tick-tock down. We've done this shape again and again today. Just this is the first time with that back foot down. I might go like 10 more minutes. Okay, 5 minutes over 45, because I'm an expert at that. Going over time. We bend in the knee, we lift in the heart. Good, and then cartwheel the hands down. You're gonna spin the back heel up, and you're in a runner's lunge. Then bend through the back knee. Walk your front fingers forward so that you're in a supported warrior 3. And then a twist, left hand up or to hip. Last pose is that warrior. Warrior, not a warrior, not one that worries, but a warrior, one that faces and shows up despite worries. Back heel down, arms high, hips, shoulders square forward. This time, maybe you bend through your arms and catch elbows or catch knuckles, and then puff your heart so high that maybe it's the tallest part of the body as the head leans back. Kind of like you're, the lion from Wizard of Oz. So strong, so fierce, but needs to build the heart, needs to build the courage. And by the end, he finds that. And hopefully by the end of class, by the end of this year, you have found yours. Let yourself go. Breathe in, lift up with the arms. Exhale down with the arms, step back, foot forward, fold. Create this tamastic energy. Come back in. Move through rest. Bend at knees. And then grow a little bit of energy. Propel your heart forward, halfway lift. Gaze looks to where you're going. And then heart bounces back to the thighs. This contraction and this expansion. We lift up, mountain again. Come weight to right foot. Lift left leg into the air. One-legged mountain. Then twist, right hand to left knee, left hand to back pocket, or extend it all the way behind you. Relax the arms, step wide. You're going towards the long edge of your mat, heels down and in, and toes out. Hands can be on thighs again, or to the back of your head. And then just lift a right heel, and then lower it. Lift the left and lower. Do two more, each side, right, down, left, down, right, up, and then down, left, up, and then down. Reach through arms and thighs, lift and lengthen. Hips can go forward, hands can reach back. Come forward again. Right toes face short out of mat, left toes point to the long. Little depth through front knee, arms to a T. Triangle, straighten through front leg, tick-tock down through arms. Pull shoulder blades together, tuck your right hip under, and then come up again. Rebend through front knee, warrior two, pop back heel as you cartwheel arms down. Fingers forward, bend in the back knee to reach to a warrior three, toes down. And then lift your right arm up, or find back pocket. So you're twisting your shoulders, your heart, to the long edge of the right side of your mat. Land in warrior one, final time. Drop foot, plant heel, lift arms, head, chest. Maybe clasp the knuckles, opposite thumb on top. Let your heart be courageous and strong. Letting yourself maybe look a little fearless, even if you have a little bits of fear-filled. And no one knows. But you. Keep experiencing the feeling. Watch it transform. Inhale, move arms up. Exhale, move them down. Bring feet together, down dog. Only vinyasa of the day, come to plank. Drop the knees. Bend the elbows, lower bellies, head, heart. Cobra, maybe a little baby cobra, really little energy. And then come back down. Move your right arm forward, thread your left hand underneath the armpit, and then flip-flop to your back, and then scoot yourselves to your mat. Lay a hand on a heart, a hand on a belly. And we'll do square breath, mainly because I keep seeing 4, 4, 4, 4 all over the place. So I thought,
square breath could be a really great way for us to calm down our breath, bring us back into our bodies. We'll do a few final stretches, and then I'll leave you guys in Shavasana, where you guys can let everything linger as long as your night allows. First square breath. First, find supported rest where your knees are bent. Maybe you walk your feet out and then knock your knees in. Give your low back some space. And then once again, let your body feel connected to the earth. This time, more open, less grounded, and more receptive. As we have a whole year of potential in front of us, and a whole year of stories and tales behind us. And just breathe into that space. And if 4, 4, 4, 4, the breath that we'll do next, does not work in your body, if holding breath is not serving you, just keep your breath even. Do a count of 4 in and a count of 4 out. For those that can hold their breaths, we'll hold at the top of the inhale and of the bottom of the exhale. Let's take just a really good sigh out. Feel your body get closer to ground. And then inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let go, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold, 4, 3, 2, 1. One more together. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold, 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathe out, 4, 3, 2, 1. Linger, 4, 3, 2, 1. Do 2 more cycles on your own. And then return to normal, harmonious, sattvic breath. And once breaths are even again, walk your feet underneath the knees. Bring your right leg into the air. Pull behind the thigh or the calf. And then hold on with your left hand. And then just let your right leg move across the chest. Your right hand can lay down towards the floor. Maybe your left leg lengthens to the ground. You'll just stretch, bringing the leg over, but keep your left hip rooted. Right hip might come up a little bit. And you can point and flex the foot or just keep it flexed as you notice the outer line of the leg. And then pull it back to center. Grab to the outer edge of the foot. Bend your knee wide and out. And find half happy baby. Left hand can land on the ridge of the left hip. Good. Bend your left knee again. Bring your right to the floor. You might just even out with a breath in and a breath out to settle. And then you will let your left leg lift. Find connection to back of thigh or calf. Pull it towards your face. And then keep your right hand on the leg. Bring your left hand maybe down by your side. And you'll pull your left leg across the body. Left hip will lift a little bit. Maybe right leg extends if you'd like. And then we're focusing on the feeling, the sensation of the leg, of the left side, maybe even all the way from like the left hip through the outer edge of your leg to the ankle. I have a wall I'm using. And then pull it back. Grab left hand to outer foot, bend at your knee, pull it to your armpit, keep your head, your shoulders rested. Right hand can heavy down the right hip. Bring your right foot underneath you again. Bring your left to follow. Hands can be at a T or goal post, and you can just shake your hips side to side. And if there's any final movements that you want to take, now could be a really beautiful time to just honor those callings. And maybe it's habitual, and if it is, just notice that. Again, it's not a wrong or a right. It's just a noticing and a choosing. And if you are ready to just settle into a final rested shape, could be Shavasana or feet together, knees wide, or you can even do a legs up the wall. You are at home, so if you have a couch nearby, you might even 90-degree bend the knees and place the calf right on the couch cushion. When you do settle your bones, I'd like to just end with a quick little phrase that I read in the Gita again today. And I think this does a really, really beautiful job of leaving us with something to think about for the new year ahead. And one where many people take the new year as an opportunity to like really shake things up or be really ambitious or rajastic towards their goals. But I think a really more sustainable way to change and transform is to like let yourself go through these processes and mix and mingle through these energies um and by doing so we get to be more compassionate to ourselves and more committed to our health and our goals and their intentions instead of resolutions. So if we fall off, it's okay. We're compassionate, we're kind, we're graceful. We just get back on. If you were riding a horse and you fell off, it's okay. You just get back on. You keep moving yourself forward. So here's something to think about. And then I promise my voice will drizzle away. And I want you guys to hopefully take at least like a minute to even 10 minutes to just rest with everything that's just happened. This is the Bhagavad Gita. Reshape yourself through the power of your will. Never let yourself be degraded by self-will. The will is the only friend of the self, and the will is the only enemy of the self. So my desire, my hope, my wish for you guys as you transition this year to the next, I hope you have a little mix of being frightened, but also being frightening, being a little fearless, and being a little fearful, because we need both. I really hope you guys a beautiful, beautiful evening. Thanks for sharing this time, this space, this practice with me this year. and way, way, way beyond into the future. My love to you. Namaste. Happy New Year.